You speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And how alike sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
Yeah. We in the casket with Clint Stoker talking about Dracula. Oh yeah, we ain't taking no baths on this. Yeah. Yeah, I love to take a bath in a casket. A casket where I dream. I love to take a bath in a casket. In a casket, they never hear you scream. By candlelight, I lure you with temptation. In my arms, you think yourself so bold. But when I drank the life from your neck, dear, in my arms your body will go cold.
Hey, it's the Diaz brothers from Zate Comics, and we're back with our latest campaign, bringing together all the greatest artists and talent that CG has to offer. So take a look at...
Whoa! I'll take it from here, Diaz brothers. What up, people? It's your boy, Mr. CG. Allow me to be your tour guide on the biggest, bounciest beach party book in CG history. CG Vacation! We got bodacious beach spots springing up from the biggest properties in indie comics. Baby, you don't need those guns when you got these guns, you know what I'm saying? Featuring art from the industry's heavy hitters, as well as the best new CG talent. I'm talking Dale Keown, Billy Tucci, Auntie Bear, Shafton Jetty, Rennie Draws, and many more, rubbing ink on hot properties you love, like Pit, Sheep, First Man, Sovereign Wolf,
Cyber Frog,
Shanu, the Lucent, Downcast. I could go on and on. And I will. We got Andy Smith, Kelsey Shannon, PTP, Kaylee, Lil Presti, Monster MD, Rage Tully, Graveyard Shift. Yo, on CG Beach, we even got the weeds covered. Or, uncovered. It's gonna be more than 50 pages of pinup perfection, like Penumbra over here. Hey, mamacita, I was just walking by, and I couldn't help but notice. Holy crap, what the hell is that? We're all gonna die! Why are you posing right now? So what are you waiting for? Take a little break and get away with all your faves. You know you deserve it. Back CG Vacation on Indiegogo today. Later, gang. We got Dahl, Robertson, Joe Ball, Sontag, Miriam Diaz, Lawless, Bancroft, Romero, McMahon, Dalton, Casanova. Just too many to mention, dude.
Nosfero, does this word not sound like the death bird culling the living dead at dawn? It is the name both ghouls and demons dare not say, for they know it means death for the undead.
Good morning, come on in. Coffee's good, fresh and hot. There's a waffle in the baker on the grill. We're making bacon. You're always welcome back.
Charge!
There's a fire beneath my skin. There's a fever that makes me ill. Gotta love, a love that kills. I got 24 hours to live. Come back. I'm down on my knees. Come back. I'm begging you, please.
What's up, everybody? How you doing this fine afternoon here at the Waffle Lodge? It is great to see you. It is a balmy 70-something degrees outside, and I am glad you could be here. The waffles are on order. Order up for all. And again, my name is Shanthan Jetty. This is Shanthan Jetty Art. I'm the creator artist of Nosfero, the Crypt Walker, and I'm going to be working on a piece today from really the very, very beginning. And I wanted to show you guys that bit of the process because a lot of people ask me questions. How do you start? It's a very weird processes I'm sure you can start to see right here. And it's hard to describe. I don't really rough things out as a lot of people do, although there is a roughing in phase. So let's see who we've got here. Let's see all of the fellas and peoples in the chat. The ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Of course, Stephen Rockwood in here, in like Flynn, dropping links in the chat. Hail to you, my friend. It's great to see you. What's up, 80s Made Consumer? Great to see you here as well. The Groomsman, one of my brothers from another mother, who is on the West Coast, as my brother Gabe would say, the best coast. It's great to see you, my friend. Hail to you. Hail Scotsley. Hail Billy. What is up? Billy the Kid in the chat. That's right. We're having a fun time here. Leg Kick One. Great to see you here in the chat. Scotsley's always holding it down, guys. Same thing with Stephen Rockwood, who is just dropping links like there is nothing going on in the world. He just stops the world, drops links. Boom. We love you for it. Lord Ravener, it's great to see you. Can't dodge the lodge. Indeed, you can't dodge the lodge, and we're glad you don't, my friend. You have many choices when you travel. We are glad you travel. Jonathan Jetty Art and the Waffle Lodge. Yeah, everybody's saying hello to each other in the chat. It is great to see. And let's see what else we have. Comic Stock with Pops Van Sant. Hail, Pops. Pops, I doff my cap to you. I tip my hat to all, doff my cap to Pops. That's how it's got to be sometimes. Let's see here. Yes. Hello to everybody. Look at all the great links for the great books. Shadowhawk Talks. Hail to you, my friend. Tip my hat to you. It's great to see you. Let's see who else. We got John here. John, always a regular. We've got your booth saved for you, my friend. It is your booth. No one else sits there. It's got a reserved sign on it. That feeling when you catch senior team, really a thing. Go Gary Oldman. It's true. It happens. I can't speak from experience, but it takes all kinds, folks. And Gary Oldman is definitely a kind. That is how it works. It is great to see you guys. Indeed, General Piggy here in the chat. There we go. Almost missed General Piggy. Cranberry Langers, great to see you. Compop, it's great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? I hope you are well. Mighty Geek Studios is here as well. Odin is here. Bane Mailer is here. Holy cow, there's a ton of people here in the chat. It is raining Gators here in the chat, and it is a pleasure to see you all here. Yes. Oh, chicken and waffle sandwich is order up, guys, is going to Mighty Geek Studios. Let's make it happen. Yeah, absolutely. Chicken and waffles are always great, always on the menu. So let's take a look at this right here. So I thought I'd do something. I'm still working on my Visions piece. It's almost done. I'm just kind of giving myself, you have to do the step away when a piece is almost finished so that you can have a few seconds to kind of, gauge where you are, where you want to take it, that kind of thing. And so I want to show you guys the start process of, doing this work and what I'm working on right now. So I was talking to a dear friend of mine, Rob Arnold, and we were talking about a idea for a bookmark for the Stickers and Bookmarks campaign. And I wanted to do some exploration of that. And now I don't know if any of you guys here in the chat have ever were ever fans of, particularly in the 80s, because that's the artwork I'm referencing, of Warhammer 40K. But when I was a kid, I had a very, very dear friend of mine named Zach, who, not your boy Zach, another Zach, but all Zachs are great. And he painted Warhammer miniatures. And I remember that on the box art for that game was this really epic, amazing illustration. And I have been looking for an opportunity to pay homage to this really fun piece from my youth. I've actually been doing that a lot. That's even happening on my Visions piece, which is paying sort of homage for that whole thing. And I love that stuff. I love the ferocity of the piece. I love the intensity of the piece. And I wanted to make sure that I did something. This is my opportunity to kind of do something really, really cool for Rob, and also to kind of do some experimentation. And that's always something that's a little bit easier to do and show the start process of. And so what this is right here, what you're seeing, is my process of roughing things in. You can see I've already kind of hit the whole thing with some pencil, but this is the phase that is that a lot of people don't see, because it's typically, I don't really think to show it. It's I think I've done it on a couple of streams, but I thought, this will be fun. It's not the prettiest part of the process, but it is one that I think helps people to kind of get a better sense. For those of you guys who want to know how to start work and know how I start work because it could be informative to you, this is definitely for you, so you guys can see how it works. And I really have not thought about or spent as much time thinking about my process as I have on these streams lately. And I was doing a stream with Dan Lawless the other day, which was great. Yeah, Blood Angels were dope. Amen. Absolutely right. Love that stuff, man. Compositionally, do you have an idea of character placements and positions taken before this point? Absolutely. It is. So this is the weird thing. I know you guys have heard this before, but for me, it's I I used to not think I was like this because, I'd hear people say that and I'd say that just sounds weird. But I do think more and more as I'm really starting to think about it and watch it, is I do think I have a picture in my head where I compose it, and I do compose it on the paper, but it's a whole nother kettle of fish, like in terms of how I think. I just approach these things, and because this is paint, I have a certain amount of freedom in terms of like how I'm able to approach it. But there's a very idiosyncratic process of how I throw this stuff down, because for me, it's a little bit like going into the zone, and I don't always show this process because, to be honest, when I was starting out, I doing these streams more and more, I was very conscious of the camera. I was very conscious of what was happening, and how you're just thinking about, oh man, am I about to make a terrible mistake, or am I going to do something wrong? But as I've started doing this more and getting comfortable with this process, it's less and less of a concern. And so this right here is, if I can just move that down just a little bit more, let's let that focus. I'm going to move that up. That's a little too close. There we go. But when you're seeing this process of me working and starting a piece, for anybody who is interested in, okay, well, like how malleable and how much space do I have, to adjust and correct things? My attitude is, I like to be able to make things permanent when I'm doing them, but I do like to have that flexibility to, adjust things and curve them out, so that if this painting is done, it can, if I do something, it's committed. If I want to work over it just to adjust it, I can. And that's why I really do have a tendency to build my work on the page. And I will do things that are off model, or, just sort of out there when I'm doing this kind of work, just to sort of push things in terms of the balance, knowing that I can come back to it. And that's what's so fun. All right. I tried to draw Space Marines the other day, and I actually don't mind how it turned out. Still prefer painting the minis, though. Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. Yeah, layers is key. Slow build up. Yeah, absolutely. Death Watch guy, myself. Blood Angels are sick, though. Yeah, they're huge right now. I love seeing that stuff. I never played the game, but I love the idea of building the world. Players would play in. Yeah, absolutely. J-Bot, hey, what's up? What's the good word? Paint some replicator. Hey, Ashaff in chat. Hey, Jeremy. Sorry, guys. We have to take a very quick commercial break because Jeremy just popped in here. I don't know if you guys know that he's my brother.
World and code on the street.
What is up, everybody? I'm really looking forward to
Banging 7 gram rocks. World and code on the street. Banging 7 gram rocks. That's how I roll.
There you go, Jeremy. There's your salute, my friend. We gotta love it. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's the thing. When people ask me, oh, how's the process work? I want to see how this stuff goes from the start. This is the process. Now, if you guys know Rob Arnold, he has got his email list sign up started for Replicator 4. If any of the mods know it and can get that in the chat, that would be great. But he came to me and wanted me to do a piece that he thought would be great. For the bookmark stickers thing, and that I'm doing, and then I sort of have been kind of expanding based on our conversation what I want to do with it, and I wanted to do something just really crazy, really cool, really epic, because so many people that I enjoy and appreciate, who are huge supporters of Nosfero, and I do appreciate that, are involved in the campaign, and then of course the people who are your friends. We do CG Team every Tuesday night. So tonight on Eric Weathers' channel, and the CG Team, we got each other's backs, and we do this kind of thing. So only the best for the CG Team. That's the way it is. But yeah, it's been a blast, and so here we go. This is how we work. Let me see here. Yes, everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Wow, indeed. Watched do at the comic shop cutting styrofoam. Whoa, styrofoam hills cut. Oh yeah. Watched the dude at the comic shop cutting styrofoam hills open his. Oh yikes. Oh man. Oof. Yeah. Utility knife squill. Thank you, Jeremy Hale. Yeah. There's the link for the sign up for Replicator 4, guys, and there it is again, Stephen Brockwood. Yeah, guys. So let me tell you this: X-Acto knife injuries are life changing. They will affect you. And one of the things that's been kind of a common experience when it comes to art school, and when it comes to college, and when it comes to any kind of shop work. I was in a shop one time, and there's this sound that that is the metal handled X-Acto blade rolling across a table surface. And I was in school. And there was a gal who was sitting at a table with her headphones on way back when, and listening to some music. And I looked over, and it was like that series of realizations. I was like, there's an X-Acto blade rolling across the table. She can't hear it because she's got her headphones in. And it rolled off the table and fell straight down right into the top of her foot. And just stuck there. Oh, it was rough, man. It was rough. Oh, hey, my pleasure, man. My pleasure. Happy to. X-Acto knife injury was an art school rite of passage. Yes, it was. I'm amazed I still have thumbs. As am I, man. As am I. And so, yeah, one of the things for me that has been so kind of fun about doing this stuff is trying to make sure that when people get any piece of artwork from you, I've got a couple of pieces right now that are coming along. Obviously, the Bride of Frankenstein head sketch, which a lot of you guys saw the other day. But something Rob said that when he was talking to me about Replicator, many of the times we've talked about it, was he goes, you don't see Sean do a lot of tech, like a lot of like real, hardcore sort of tech stuff. And I thought, yeah, I love doing that kind of stuff. And the first thing I think about when I think about, creating tech is those formative years with Warhammer 40K. So to have, the opportunity to work on a character who's got some fairly heavy tech is pretty darn exciting. So yeah, I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. And as you can see again, let me see if I can move this light a little bit better here. There we go. As you see again, it's this process of sketching it up is really it really kind of just allows for the work to flow and to make for an interesting thing. So in this piece right here, interesting piece, I should say, in this piece right here, one of the things I really want to do is kind of intensify the pose. I like classical, kind of more classical poses, but I'm a big action movie fan, as you guys know from Gabe and my show that we do, Double Impact, which is on Wednesdays. That's, we love action movies. We love all things action movies. And so when I was thinking about this piece right here, I was playing around with what the figure would be doing and how intense the scene would be and the imagery would be. And so she's going to be kicking some ass here. That's the main thing I want to say. She's going to be kicking some ass, which is tricky because, yeah, Adventures in Babysitting. Oh, yeah. No, it was. Wow. Bane Mailer, you're straight on. That's exactly what it was like. Shorter blade. It was higher up. Didn't hit the toe, hit the top of the foot. And it was, oof, man, it was crazy. Here's the funny thing. And I forgot to even finish this one. I've also had multiple crow quills, so have I. I hate to laugh, but it is some Daffy Duck level physics. Yeah. So it lands right in her foot, and then she feels it. But if you know how it is, it's a very odd feeling when something that sharp hits you. So she's totally silent, right? She looks down, sees it, and then she just starts screaming. And her friend, who also had her headphones on, suddenly looks over, sees it, looks down, reaches over, and pulls it out, man. And that girl went down when it got pulled out, man. So how much would it cost to get you to do an intro for my stream, Sean? Just you saying something like, I'm Jonathan Jetty, creator of Nosfero, and you're watching JBot Art. Oh my gosh, I've never even been asked that question before, so I haven't even pondered an answer. That's crazy. Kevin McAllister owed that X-Acto knife, or owned that X-Acto knife before it came to that woman's possession. That's absolutely true. Yeah, there was something absolutely nuts about it, absolutely nuts. Yeah, great reference. It's absolutely true. I'm just it's fun to play around with this stuff because I haven't done anything with firearms in a while in this stuff, let alone like kind of high-tech stuff. I do enjoy oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on his name. Shoot, Ghost in the Shell artist. This is killing me. Manga artist, Ghost in the Shell, does great tech, really cool stuff. And so I'm thinking about that guy's stuff as well. That's a lot of the stuff I love. That's the fun stuff. And let me see here. There we go. Here we are. And so getting all of the armor situated and figuring out where this figure is going to be, even if it's not exactly. Let me adjust the camera because the camera. Whoa, is that light better or worse? I think it's worse. Even if it's not exactly where. Move that up. Move that back. Even if it's not exactly where everything is going to be from the start, I do have to make sure that I have the energy. And so one of the things I wanted for this character was to kind of put in that intensity on the leg right there, because she's going to be stepping on the chest of someone who is being taken out by her as she's doing her thing. And that was something that I was, seeing in my head when I was painting this. I'm sure like all of you guys, I have a lot of action movies and things that just are rolling around in my brain. And so that was something that I was really thinking about a lot. Move that up a little bit. Sorry, guys, for the craziness there. But that was one of the things that really spoke to me when I was doing this piece. I go, I want to do something where it's just very intense, very energetic, crazy. That's the, yeah, Appleseed is great. Love Appleseed. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Shiro. Absolutely. Billy, if you feel like popping in here, man, I can send you the link. Let me know. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing about it. When I'm working is just how do you bring that action to it? How do you bring that intensity? Because when people back these projects, but also when we're doing anything that's, CG related, I do feel this pressure. Let's even step further back from that. When I think about the history of comic books, I was talking with Dan Lawless yesterday about Gene Colan and our love of Gene Colan and all the amazing creative stuff that he did. And I just think, hey, what's up, Eric? Let me know if you want to pop in here, man. I'll send you a link. You might be in the thick of things, but do let me know. And this is the thing. Yeah, this is a Rob the Replicator piece. You're absolutely right, man. Has to be, guys. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's how do you make stuff that hits people the way that comics have traditionally in this field, in this industry. I mean, we were just singing the praises of Gene Colan. If you don't know Gene Colan, Tomb of Dracula, God, incredible Daredevil work, but for me also illustrated and was co-creator in that sense of Blade. And I love that character. What a great artist. Unbelievable skill. And that's ultimately what it's about. That's the stuff that we're here to see. We're here to see the coolest, stuff that we can find. And I feel like that manga certainly hasn't slept on that. And American comics are starting to wake back up to it. But it's just going to take all of us, you guys backing us. Without that, there is nothing. And all of us taking the serious risk to step out into the unknown and trust that you guys are going to catch us, man. That's what it is. You know, every time Nosfero moves forward a little bit, it is a big deal to us in this house. It is a big deal to us. This is not without its risks. You're just stepping into the unknown and just trusting that your fan base and your skills are going to catch you and your family for that matter. And so I am grateful for all of your support, and it can't be overstated. But then my job, as I'm doing this work, whether it's for the pinup for the Visions piece or for CG Vacation, my goal when I'm doing this stuff is to do something that brings you joy when you see it. You know, I want the work to be something that is inspiring to you. You know, can you guys start to see the figure coming into focus? You know, it's you can see exactly what's going on there. You know, I want that. There's this really cool, and actually I'm going to sketch it in right now just because I want to, because I'm saying it. There's this really great thing they did, this artist, and if anybody knows the artist's name, please drop it in the chat. But there was this artist who did this early Warhammer piece that this is really inspired by, who did these painted covers, and the one that I'm referencing is the one that had this one of the Warhammer Space Marines with the holding the head of this this character, the spiked helmet, and holding it aloft. It was a big group of guys fending off some not too pleasant customers, and he did these great halos of action, you know, and of the way he did the weapons going off, and it was so cool. And I wanted to create that vibe here with this, and I love that stuff, man. I live for that stuff. Like that's as much a part of, even though I never played the game, even though the few minis I tried to paint were just diabolically bad. I've always loved that world, and that's one of the things that drew me to the Replicator is that you've got Goliath, who is this like giant hulking character, and it's just so much fun. Hey, what's up, Andrew Wilson? How you doing? And Jetty isn't cold yet, Steven. That's right. It's like, I'm telling you, man. Guys kill me. Painting in the afternoon, Bob Ross got nothing, and Jetty in the room. Hail, and thank you, Andrew Wilson. I do appreciate that, my friend. I do appreciate it. It's a very cool you know, thing to be making art from the standpoint of audience, you know, and that's the thing I love about it, is that this is audience, you know, audience driven work. And that's the fun part of it. You know, we get to make stuff that the people are going to love, hopefully. And that's going to create an energy, and it's going to be the great, you know, the iconic stuff of your imagination, you know, and that's why I think those, you know, those throwbacks, those callbacks, whatever you want to call them, to when entertainment was in a better place are so important, because that just reminds us what we're here for. Like, you know, it's how do I word this? It reminds us who we have been, and it reminds us of who we're capable of being again. And I think that that's a critical thing. You know, it's a critical thing to have that, you know, that those reminders of things. I think that's why Top Gun Maverick is doing so well, you know. And one second, let me drop this link in there for Billy, and in case he's up, and Eric, in case they're up for it. Let me see here. Hold on with me for 1 second here. Settings, invite, copy link. God, this is complicated, kids. All right, let's see here. And let's see here. Where the heck is Billy? Oh, there he is. Edit, paste. There you go, kids. And then we're going to go back here. And where's Eric? There he is. Edit, paste. There you go, guys. Yeah, and I mean, when I'm working on this kind of stuff, the other character that I've got that I'm fooling with here is, of course, move this light here so we don't get that annoying strobing thing happening, is Goliath. And that's the one I'm looking forward to. Oh, saw Top Gun 2 yesterday. It was great, says the groomsman. Yeah, man, I've heard great. I hate when it does that thing here. There we go. I've heard really great things about it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, man. It really, it's apparently been great for everybody. How are you choosing your colors? All right, so here's how it goes. In this particular case, the piece that I'm looking at is going to lean into a very yellow-purple kind of ground, so I want a muddy, earthy yellow. So to me, it makes sense just to pick the opposite, which is that deep purple. Also, you know, the funnier thing about it is that if you know Rob's character, it's very purple, black kind of centric. And so that does help. But I always start with a cool color for an underpainting, generally speaking, a blue or a purple. And that's just it's a habit thing. It's just what I like to do. And that's what I love to do. By Hooters, good wings indeed. Yeah, I can't complain. Can't complain about the wings. Yeah, that's what they say, man. They say if your if your in-laws ever corner you, and when you're having a barbecue, and they say, "Do you want what do you prefer? Do you prefer a breast or a leg?" Make sure you look them right back in the eye, and you say, "My friends, I will take a wing." That's how you get out of that situation, kids. Very, very important. Very important to remember these things. Let me see here. There we go. That's what I want. All right, good. So we just start to rough things in, getting the basic shapes down. Like one of the tricks for me when I'm working is I'm working at an angle just to make sure you guys can see it. So I've got two different views of it, which is interesting. All right, be right back. See you in a sec, John. And so right here, we're going to have this other character. Let me see if I can find where I was sketching this thing out. This other character is going to be here, and then in the background behind her, because I got to show the scale. Goliath is huge, if you know Goliath. I like to show as much aftermath as I can. Hey, what's up, Phil? Great to see you, brother. I know you're at work, but if you ever need the link, if you're not at work, do give me a heads up because I never know. I mean, I assume you're at work every day in the morning, so I'm not. But if you want the link, always just say, hit me with the link, and it's done. Let's see here. So when I'm thinking about what I want to have in a piece like this, I'm always thinking about, particularly with the replicator, if I can put debris into a piece or have that there's some chaos happening, I'm always going to go with tanks, man. So I'm going to have a flipped over tank, which is one of the things I've been dying to do with a replicator piece. Really want to do something just crazy because it's all action. It's that perfect cross between science fiction and, you know, what I love about pulp. And when people commission me to do something, pulp is always going to be the case. Oh, right on, Phil. Understood. And let me see here. All right. Here we go. It's all in the arm when you're doing this stuff, by the way, guys. It's not in the hand. My hand is more or less locked when you see me working and moving the brush across like that. So it's all the arm, and that's what helps keep it there. You know what I mean? And that really is one of the keys. The many keys of keeping your hand steady. It's sort of a misnomer in terms of hand control. There's a certain amount of it that really is arm control. So now let's start fooling around with see here, Goliath a little bit. I'm just going to rough him in because Goliath is going to be in silhouette. He's going to be towering. And Jeremy and anybody who's and Snuggie and all you fine folks out there, anybody who is looking at this and saying to themselves, all right, so what's Shoth doing for his bookmark, and what's he doing for Rob's, and what's he doing for this? I decided that I'm going to kill two birds with one stone, and I am going to do a double wide bookmark that could possibly be two bookmarks you could put together. And so, yeah, that's my plan for this, featuring the characters of Rob Arnold. So that's something that is just a bit of a fun in-joke for Rob and I, because Rob was talking to me about it. He goes, I want to commission you to do a triple cover at some point. And I'm always like, oh, my God, Those are so involved. But yeah, I thought I'll do a double bookmark. That'll be kind of cool. So we'll see where it goes. Again, doing something fun. This is independent comics, guys. This is Comicsgate. Hail, Skunk Artworks. Great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? I hope you are well and love that piece, man. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful profile pic. One of my heroes. Boris Karloff. What a great actor. Gave so much to Universal Monsters. I have one massive dream. God willing, I live long enough to see it. But and it's I'm kind of worried actually after with that preface. Share the dream. You guys will be like, that's the lamest dream I've ever heard. I love the Universal Monsters. It is no secret that they are building a Universal Monsters land in Universal Studios Orlando. The rumor is there will be animatronics, and if I get it, and with the classic monsters, if I get the chance to go on a dark ride that is based on the Universal Monsters, I can die a happy man. Love the universe. Like, can't overstate. Actually, what I'm doing with Shanthan Jetty art and what I'm doing in terms of my sort of little corner of things here is, there's a bunch of people who inspire me. One of the people who inspires me the most is Carl Laemmle Sr. Immigrant, came to this country, Jewish American, started his career, I believe, working and apprenticing under a tailor, bought a movie theater, then started making small movies for it, and ended up being the founder of Universal Studios, introducing us to the Universal Monsters. And that's the thing that people, it's never top down. It's always bottom up when it comes to these creative things that we do. Yes, Rob Schmarnold, more like Rob Schmarnold. Oh my God. Hail chat, hail to you, my friend. Bane Miller, the opening sequence of Top Gun sets the tone for the entire film. Whatever conventional wisdom says you can't do, push harder, through the limits. You may not make it, but others will be inspired. You're absolutely right. Hail, Maromi. What's up, my friend? It's great to see you. Yeah, I mean, think about it that way too, guys, is that the worst, first of all, you get to a certain point skill-wise where you know you can rescue a painting, right? You know you can rescue your art. So the question becomes then, what is the danger of pushing it as hard as you possibly can from the start? Worst thing that happens is you have to move it back to something more conventional in order to rescue it. But what you leave on the table potentially by not pushing it is the audience feeling some sense of exhilaration. And to me, that's a crime to leave that on the table. It's really falls under the you have one job, umbrella. You have one job. It is entertain people like your life depends on it. And of course it does, financially and career-wise. And put your heart and soul into it. And I think that, when people back Nosfero, it's like, it's a book that we're selling right now for $25, and then there's, of course, the shipping on top of that, which I think is like $10 or whatever, buy all those mailers. But we're a small business, and one of the things about, seriously, small business, like, you guys know, you can do that. You can do the math. It says the total gross on my homepage for the campaign. And every little bit helps, but at the same time, it's like we live or die on the excellence of the products that we make and of the art. And so if somebody sees this bookmark and says, hey, that bookmark's great, I want to buy that original, then there you go. And that's what this is about. It's about making the best stuff that you can possibly make and making the audience feel engaged. If you love this stuff, you're not alone. I love it too, guys. It's the way it is. Gosh, let me move my glasses here. You should be charging at least $35. Well, the last art book did, but I wanted to kind of come into this, Comicsgate, project that I'm doing. It's that was sort of the coin of the realm, and I thought a lot. We thought a lot about it. To be honest with you guys, because as opposed to all the other lies I guess I've been telling, who knows? To be honest with you guys, we really had no idea how this was going to go. Like, it could have very well. It's easy to look at now, and of course, there's no shortage. And thank you guys. There's no shortage of people wishing us well, and we appreciate that. But it could have just not worked, and that was something that was very real in our minds. We were like, what if nobody backs this book and we're just back looking at ourselves going, well, that was something. And so, yeah, when it's we are thrilled with the fact that it's funded and now it's onward. It's like we can't take our foot off the gas. That means being, active in terms of, just the production of artwork and commissions. It's like, and making stuff that people are going to look at and just start to be blown away by. Do you guys see how this thing is going to come together a little bit? Can you see what I mean? Hey, what is up yourself there? Sean, oh God, Sean here. Schneily. God, I tell you what, I got to work on my reading. Art and Times, Jay Ryan, always great to see you here, by the way, if I have not said hello. Hello, darlings, 25 books. You talking about the book? I don't know which thing we're talking. What's the question? But then it's worth $45. I think we're talking about the book. I'm assuming it's what I'm talking about. But double bookmark spread, you've got it. Absolutely right. Yeah. Think about this, guys. So for those of you guys who don't know my brother Jeremy, you don't know Snuggy Jr. and you don't know the guys, and Kenneth doing this beautiful bookmark. I started thinking about, and I'm always thinking about this stuff. How many paintings do you have in you before you're done? Sounds a bit dark, but it's just how I think. And is there anything you want to do that is half-assed with the time you have? And I can tell you honestly, that's all that matters to me at the end of the day, because this is however much work I get done while I'm at this level with my skill set, which is something you work your entire life to get to. That's my artistic legacy, whatever it is. So I don't just say yes to things casually. I don't just commit to things casually. When I make a commitment, it's a commitment. And my goal is to make something that can hang with all of my other work, and that you guys would love to get and enjoy. That's the hope. And so I just dig deep on every single one of these pieces. That's what it's about, man. This live stream is worth money. Thanks so much for sharing. Hey guys, feel free to send a super chat. I have 0.5 paintings in me. That's actually a total lie. I'm looking at one of your paintings right now in this room. So I'm calling bullshit, Grimsman. Yeah, Lord Ravener, it's nice that it's cheap, but it's like worth it near double. Yeah, well, that's the whole thing, right? You want give the people who contract you for work, give them something beautiful and give them options they didn't even know they wanted, and that's going to be the fun part of it for me, Yeah, half measures are for half wits. Amen. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition indeed. Yeah, it's I can't think of a fair sort of way to say it than that. Let's bring that vitality to what we're doing and make stuff that's great, and this character, I mean, this is a character that I've just fallen in love with because I love monsters. Rob's really funny. Like he's very, Rob, if you're out there, wherever you are, I do appreciate your kind words. They do mean a lot. And Rob was on some stream I was watching one time, and he was saying, I think Sean's one of the best artists in CG for making monsters, man. I was just like, oh, that's really cool to hear. And because I love painting monsters and creatures, it's one of my favorite things. And so that was a very cool thing to hear. And so my attitude is deliver on that premise. That's what it comes down to. And so when I sat around thinking about like, what am I going to do for this piece? This right here was, the idea was to take this and to bring it to the next level of what I could imagine doing in this work so that, Rob gets a great piece. And then I thought to myself, again, next step is, well, what could I do that would give this thing some legs for the campaign? And if I do this as a double bookmark, at least in terms of its composition, then we get more options and we make something that's cooler and cooler. That's our goal. Let me see here. All right, yeah. Rob's funny. Hey, did you see that clip? Rob's hilarious, man. That just killed me. When we are not watching him, Rob ceases to exist. That's very possible, man. Yeah, hey, it's not Rob 10th yet. I know it's not yet. But yeah, that's the fun thing about it for me. Oh, the groomsman, because you called me out on my BS. $5 super chat. All right, groomsman, this one's for you, man. As you guys know, when people send super chats, we like to salute them. So here you go, bro.
Charge!
There you go, brother. Replicator 4, sign up indeed. Yes, guys, do check it out. Yo, John says, Phil, yeah, there's much to be done. Of the characters that I've painted so far in CG, I was commissioned to do that Cyberfrog trading card. I'm not sure when that's when you guys are going to be getting that. Those of you guys who are either Patreon members or YouTube channel members. I'm not exactly sure how it all works. But that card was a blast to do. Just did the Downcast piece for Phil for CG Vacation, which is funding now. Link is in the description. And then on top of that, I'm also working on a piece for Visions right now. And that is a piece inspired by my brother Vaughn's one of his characters, Heidi. And that has been a real fun one to do. Really taken a lot of, charge my credit card. Absolutely right. Darn right. It better not get bounced, man. Better not get bounced. Yeah, it's fun stuff. Yeah, 12 hours to get left to get CG Vacation, guys. Yeah, make sure you move on that. If you are a fan of that piece, that I know a lot of you guys have told me you're fans of it, you really love the piece, the way to get it is to make sure that you back CG Vacation. That is where that pinup is going to be. It is a great, ode to all of those things that we love. So yeah, here's the thing for me. There is this, someone could have just released a watercolor pulp monster book. That's right, exactly. Oh, you're doing a Visions piece. Let's see it. Yeah, thanks for that. I appreciate it. Teflon Ron, nothing sticks to him. Hail, chat and Shanth. What's this you're painting here? This is for the Replicator, baby. Someone could have just released a watercolor pulp monster book. That's going to be, that's happening, baby. That's what it is. Nosfero, guys. Oh, man, I tell you what, I can't wait for the throwdown between Nosfero and Drake Thulu. That's going to be some Frazetta, let's see. Oh, maybe more campaign goals, which are cheap and easy to produce, gets more backers. Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah, there's tons of stuff coming. Heck yeah, Sean. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good thing he doesn't charge per word. That is so true. Everybody knows that. So, one of the things that has been really fun about Nosfero is kind of setting up right now, anyway. Setting up right now the sort of final battle, which all of these things are in my head. It's not like I suddenly realized such a thing needs to exist. I'm thinking about how they're going to happen all the time. But as far as things like what I want to do for the finishing move, I've always known what the kind of interesting, I want to say it's a twist at the end of Nosfero, but it's more of a revelation for the character, and it sort of calls back to something you're introduced to at the start of the book. So yeah, so how do you talk about, this is one of those things I really want to work on. How do you talk about a book without giving everything away about it? It's like, let me see here. All right, so now we're gonna get that in there. Here's the thing about those great illustrations, guys. Here's the real thing for me about it, is that when I was looking at that stuff, you can go back and look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You can go back, the original black and white Mirage comics. You go back and look at all that stuff, and you can pick nits. You can say, okay, well, that's not, that could be stronger, or that anatomy's off, or whatever. But here's the thing. Fun is very difficult to pull off. And there's a lot of stuff that's correct that isn't fun. And that is a huge factor. You know what I mean? It's like a finisher. There you go. Sean's head is in a dangerous place. That's absolutely true. Technically, Sean's is the best. Oh, wow. Geez. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm having a great time. And this is the best stuff I've ever done, and Nosfero is going to be one of those books that really, I just, it's like I'm at a loss for words with it, but it's such a love letter to so many of the aesthetics of pop culture and Western pop culture, whether it's horror movies, The Phantom, serials, classic pulp characters, and then has this really kind of beautiful return to the way that people used to be with one another. That people would just fall in love with someone named, oh my gosh, Lord Ravener, thank you for the super chat. Tip on the table. And yes, thank you so much. We always appreciate the tips here at the Waffle Lodge. You are the best. Here you go. I have to play it now. So here you are, my friend. And thank you.
Charge!
Hail, brother. Much appreciated. Always, always appreciated. And so, yeah, when I'm sitting here and I'm doing this stuff, use references. You know how the Titanic hits an iceberg and cracks open like that. It's totally true. Jonathan Jetty art on Instagram. Yes, absolutely. And we're having a great time. We're just two guys. We're having a great time. Yes, true words have never been spoken. And so when I'm doing this stuff and I'm thinking about things like, all right, and here's where I'm going to, paint in, this pile of shell casings, and here's where I'm going to paint in, all of this smoke and all of this debris. The thing for me about it is it's all a chance to create something that people look at and just dive into the details. Yes, cheerleaders and pom-poms. That's the key, guys. That's the key. Frame by frame, putting stuff together. That's all we do here. And so, there we go. And so, yeah, this double bookmark concept is going to just give me a lot of options for, and also a lot of options for Jeremy and the Bookmarks versus Sticker campaign, to be able to figure out like, oh, okay, like, we could do this with it. Maybe we could do that with it. And that really is, that's sort of job one for me too, which is if somebody offers you, an opportunity to put your work out there, my attitude is just take full advantage of it, because I can always, when it comes to my originals, I can always sell my originals or hold on to them depending on what I want to do. I know Kenneth doesn't sell his originals either typically, and I sell some originals, but they're always kind of earmarked for that. And so the people who've backed the head sketch tier and are getting the painted head sketches, they're getting originals, which are going to be, quite a rare thing indeed to have. And so that's the goal. And so with something like this, I can always just push myself creatively. There's going to be somebody who's going to buy it. And that sort of frees me up in terms of like where I go with the work and what things I decide to do. It's just got to be something I want to have in my art book down the road, There we go. You just get faster and faster at making these moves, the brush. If you told me a while ago that I would feel as comfortable as I do doing a lot of this stuff, I would not have believed you. And I'll still, like right now, like a lot of these shapes you're seeing me do, they're very much me kind of massing the stuff out. It's not to say this is exactly like where it's going to end up. I just have to know the basic composition, kind of like a trance sort of phase of doing this stuff. There we go. Not to sound too woo-woo about it, as they say. There we go. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, glass is falling off here. Let's see. That's a good question. Does discussing all the secrets of your book affect whether or not someone wants to buy it? Actually, it's kind of weird. I don't know. The Grooms of Shanth Nosfero is criminally underfunded, so Shanth is worth more than every penny. Laugh out loud. Thank you so much. Shanth, I thought of the last time you were talking about your favorite Filipino artist. He paints, he paints a canvas red very often. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's Manny Pacquiao. Another one of my favorite, Filipino artists is this gentleman right here. And he's also one of my favorite groomsmen. So it's one of those things. So, yeah. But, yeah, I love Nestor Redondo. I was also talking about, in addition to Manny Pacquiao, in addition to the groomsmen, Nestor Redondo's stuff, man. Gabe and I love his stuff. Oh, my gosh. Compop with a super chat. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. All right. Here you go. Here's thank you guys. You guys are making it rain in the chat today. Jeez. All right, here you go. Here's some cheerleaders. Thank you so much for the super chat. And let's have it. This is
Charge!
There you go, guys. You guys are the best. Yeah, Lots of streaks and droplets. Indeed. Yes, indeedy. Hail, Compop. Indeed, hail is absolutely the right word for it. I think with Nosfero, you can tell the entire story and we'll want to see the art and the panel work, etc. Yes, I know. You guys are great. And that is a part of it. You know, it's there's going to come a point where I think I'll probably, like, for example, with Greylock, which is the nickname of a character that may very well end up being named after John Malin. There's certain aspects to his story that you guys know. And, you know, there's certain things about Nosfero, why he has the piece of metal in his nose that you guys know, all of this kind of stuff. But there's a couple of sequences that I'm really looking forward to telling you guys about. And I may that very well might come out on the stream. You know, I mean, I really, that's the great thing about being an independent creator and doing your own thing. You can put out there what you want to put out there. You can try things, you can test things. So the only person who's really, you know, responsible or controlling whether or not I get to show something is myself. And I'm very, you know, I lean towards showing you guys things because I think that when you're backing a book like this, you deserve it, man. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You know, it's fun. I mean, you guys are made. If you don't want to, I can give you a heads up. Will you be having Kenneth Roquefort on your channel? Yes, if he wants to at some point. We've been on a stream together. Great dude. Yeah, I'd love to have him on. Let's see here. Oh, I think I started a good trend. More super chats. Sean's gonna eat. That's right. He's skin and bones. Not anymore, man. I wish I was. Malin claims his middle name is Michael, but we all know it's Greylock around here. That's absolutely right. We do. We absolutely do. And hail, Lord Bravener. Yes, about the streaks and droplets. That's right. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's how can we entertain people with our work? I'm not, for me personally, when it comes to movies and things like that, I'm not the biggest I don't want any spoilers person. I know a lot of people are. I respect that. Because when a movie is good or when a project is good, I mean, I've read books like The Killing Joke or The Dark Knight Returns about 1,000 times at this point. And every time I read them, I know how they're going to end, and it does not stop me from reading them. Same thing goes with books like 300. Same thing goes with any of the comics. Dave Stevens, The Rocketeer, always know how that book's going to end. Never has made it any less amazing. When I see The Rocketeer, I just go, oh, just makes my soul, you know, sing. And the same thing goes with, you know, Frazetta paintings. Why do I go back and look at Frazetta paintings I've looked at 1,000 times? Well, precisely for the same reason I've looked at them 1,000 times. You know, it's the stuff you're passionate about. Funny thing is, I've never read Catch-22. Oh, gosh, yeah, I remember reading it, and I thought, this is very strange. Yeah, we like the sound of super chats. Yes, you do, and we do, too. We do appreciate it, guys, here at the Waffle Lodge. Yeah, tip your cheerleaders and waitresses on the way out is our motto here. Here we go. Excellent. That's starting to work. Good. I actually, guys, when I do this, I know you guys know this. When I do this work, it is a total leap of faith. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go, you know, do a live stream right now and paint. It's like, how do you think it's going to go? I could bomb. I could just get on there and just make a disaster of a start on a painting. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, but it never leaves your mind, you know, when you're doing this stuff. And yeah, when it comes out, I'm as surprised as anyone else, because you never know. You know, it's just, but for the grace of God. Whenever I see bad artwork, I always think, but for the grace of God, go I. It's like, and sometimes that bad artwork could be mine, you know. It takes a lot of absurd dedication to this craft. And I think that's why I like watching people do things that I have no skill in, because it's still magic to me. Like, I'll go down and I'll shoot the bull with my plumber, who's just a great guy, does incredible work for us. Hail, John, if you're out there watching. And I'm amazed by other people's skills. Do you know what I'm saying? I appreciate other people's work. I appreciate what other people do. I everywhere I go, I always have been this way, because I imagine everybody is working really hard and trying to get things done. And it's never lost on people when you share, you know, that you appreciate what they're doing and say thank you. And I think that, you know, I try to write, you know, letters or notes to teachers who I've had in the past who influenced me, but also to the people who repair our car, who are always looking after us. And it's like they're checking the cars out so they're safe for our teenagers to drive. And they were at one point saying, hey, make sure you get your car seats out of the car for those very same kids. And it's the same thing with CG. It's not like you form a relationship with your backers over time. There's people who have backed from the start, backed my first art book back when it launched, and have backed all the subsequent books, including Nosfero. And now that you guys are here, so many of you guys who are on the Comicsgate end, I hope that you'll be saying the same thing. I was with Nosfero from the beginning, and that is unbelievably exciting to me. That thought is absolutely thrilling. And I know exactly, this is the funny thing about it. I know exactly what I'm going to do with this highlight, and I haven't even got the ground values down to set it up. But that's the thing about painting. I go, oh yeah, I can't wait till I get to do that. Can't wait till I get to throw that highlight on there, because it's just going to make this so much more intense. It's going to make this to be such a cool, fun, and inspiring kind of image for you guys. I hope you guys love this thing when it's done, but that way about everything. I want you guys to just really enjoy it, because you deserve it. I like that on the CG Vacation trailer. The, enjoy CG Vacation, because you deserve a vacation, I think is the gist of it, And I thought that's such a nice thing to think about. It's to have people whose work you support, say, you deserve something great. Isn't that nice? Isn't that so much better than being called, evil and hateful person because you don't, instantly praise everything they do? Is to kind of, spend your money and your time on smaller creators for whom a little bit of money goes a long way in their lives, and a little bit of support goes a long way. I mean, it's crazy. It's people lose, big corporations often lose $100,000, in between the sofa cushions. That's not something that happens in the lives of independent creators. Every bit counts, and I'm going to make sure that every mark I make, every bit of skill I use counts for you guys, that you guys get something exceptional that you really want to see. And the same thing goes for Rob. Like every time I say yes to a commission, man, it's like, make it great. Make it something beautiful. Plus it, as Walt Disney used to say, just add more to it. How can we make it better? How can we make it better? That's what it is. That's what you guys deserve, man. Let me see here. Glasses here. Oh, thank you, Cranberry Langers. Nosfero backstory is an issue all by itself. Yeah, his backstory is going to be great. Gets out of anger management. That's right. Let's see here. I think there should be a race to 2K for this channel. Yeah, absolutely. I think it could happen before 2022 ends. What's weird is sometimes it's exponential and it's so fast, it's wild. The first book doesn't have to be an origin story. Yeah, it's actually much more of a standard comic book story. Like, it goes right into an adventure he's on, and the origin story helps to flesh that out, or like the glimpses of that. But you're going to get to know these characters over time, God willing. And the thing about it for me is just to make a really fun adventure story. Like, that's the big thing for me, is the fun adventure story. I knew Sean before he went to the nut house. Well, how can you go somewhere you already are? That's right. Is this brush you paint sketch favorite size? Yes, this is the Princeton Summit round number 4, size number 4. And I love this size for sketching. It's a great size. It's got all I need for a brush is for it to have a little bit of a spring to it, in terms of the bristles, like snapping back into position. You never want a brush that you push in a direction and just holds there, because that means all of the tension in the brush hairs are gone. And so, yeah, this one works great for me for sketching things out and roughing things in and seeing where things are going to go. And it also allows me to get that sort of that it holds enough paint. A size 4, the size of brushes, they all should have a great point. Every brush you use should have a great point. So getting detail points shouldn't require smaller brushes. If you've got a good enough point on it. But what it should adjust is much water, how much pigment that brush can hold. And in this case, this is enough for what I like to do. Like, I don't like to have too much in the brush when I'm working. Let's see here. We learn more from failures absolutely than successes. Success is the trophy for learning our lessons from failures. Yeah, when experience is what you get when you don't get what you were trying for. One of my favorite quotes. Catch 22 is the absolute worst book I've ever owned. Yeah, I know. It's not the best. There you go. Yes. And it's yeah, I mean, the things that you guys are seeing happen. We started with just a couple of scribbles. Can you guys start to see it happen here with this piece? Is it making sense a little bit here? That's what we're shooting for. No pun in. When you're old, do the puns just claim your body? Like, could you say you make puns, or is it that the puns make you at this point? It's really disconcerting. What can you do? It's ridiculous some days. I'm like, let's see here. There we go. We're gonna play up some craziness on this. Remember, go big or go home with this, lads. That's what we got to do. Go big or go home. And make this stuff as great as you can make it, because you're making it for good people. And that's what it's about. There we go. It's been a crazy couple of days. Every single person but me in my house, I'm isolating so I can get all my work done, has COVID right now, so that's no fun. And but we're making the best of it. Kids are being very cool and giving me the space I need so I can keep doing what I got to do. But you know, it's like they're upstairs probably watching right now. That's how it is. It's called the dad joke effect. Absolutely, yeah, it totally is. Puns are wholesome. That's right. Why did you switch the black Aqua Elite for this one? Okay, so for this one, because I'm working with heavy body acrylics for my washes right now, the white synthetic, this particular white synthetic, the paint will slide off of it easier, whereas my gouache brushes, the paint doesn't slide off so easy. So it sticks, and that's really annoying. Even some synthetic acrylic brushes, the paint will stick on, and it harms like the flow of the painting, and it's just ugh. I can't stand how that stuff works. You know what it does. Hey, what's up, Duarte? Great to see you. Yes, Sean's infected his family with COVID, so he could do his work. That's devotion. It is, but I'd also say this. I thought Ethan was the one spreading it every which way, so I don't know. Has he been by the house? I'm a little concerned. Because if he did come by the house, I would have asked him for one of those Cyberfrog miniatures. You know, sadly, that would be the gist of the conversation. Because, yeah, I love those minis. Whoever sculpted and made those Cyberfrog minis, dang, those are cool. So hats off to you and well done. So, yeah, so I do think that one of my goals for this page is, because it's like it's become a running theme in CG, hasn't it, is someone's going to get their head ripped off here. So, and I want to keep it compositionally in line with the original piece. So there you go. I have a little bit of gore because this is independent comics, guys. This isn't, you know, this. We aren't doing Archie comics until we do, of course, because that's the great thing about independent comics. You can do what you want to do. Yeah, there we go. And it's funny, too, because if you tried to paint everything very realistically, you would never come up with some of the crazy compositions. Same thing goes with Frazetta for any of these people. You would never come up with the crazy compositions and placement that some of the best artwork has, because there's paintings Frazetta does that if you were painting it, trying to paint it with a somewhat naturalistic classical sense, you would not paint a planet behind a figure so that it looked like the planet value-wise was touching the figure. It's like, but for that, it's perfect. It really puts you in that kind of fantasy zone where you're experiencing it as this sort of aesthetic moment, and that's what I live for. That's the stuff I want to do. I want to do, what is it called? I want to do, for my friend and I have an expression for pulp. which is we want to do first rate, second rate. Hey, what's up, Real Sean Crummel? Great to see you, my friend. So CG equals decapitation of werewolves. Yes, it does. You know it does. Yeah, family comes first, as the saying goes. Amen. That is true. You know, and here at the Waffle Lodge, when you're here, you family, just like Olive Garden. Duarte's here. Yes, everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. But I also love the minigun thing, man. I'm one of those people who, you know, between the first Predator movie and Terminator, it's just one of my favorite things to draw and paint. I just love that stuff. It's just too cool. Such a great visual. And so seeing a character that's got that, you know, 2 of those, again, the Replicator, Volume 4 available for sign up. I have all 3 issues. I did buy the catch-up tier on, not the tier that came with catch-up, by the way, but the catch-up tier for Replicator 3. So I got all of those books. They're great. Rob puts a lot of love into those books and shipping them. He shipped those things from Australia. They came like they had been shipped from down the block. Immaculate condition. Immaculate condition. Yeah, the old painless. That's right. That's right. Nosfero visits Riverdale or Cyberfrog and Riverdale sounds. Yeah, I mean, we'll make our own before too long, man. Well, Sean, speaking of minis, have you seen Act of Valor 2012? I don't think I have. Yeah, catch me up, man. I've been watching, what, and it came out, when did it come out? Hold on a second here. It came out in 2012. I haven't, but I bet you it's got a great sequence in it that I need to check out. I love that kind of stuff. It's just really cool. I love, my son is really sort of got me interested in tank movies and all that kind of stuff. We love that stuff, man. We love it. It's fun. It's really fun. I ordered a book from France and it's being shipped from Australia. Yeah, that's right. I'm telling you what, there's the coolest thing for me right now is that you're getting a lot of great talent and great work being done around the world. And I think for those of us who, you know, are big fans of quality, it's kind of raising everybody's game a bit. And my hope is that, you know, that we'll all just kind of step up, because it's not like there hasn't been quality work being done everywhere. There's usually quality work being done. It's just what we get thrown in our faces and what we allow to get sort of thrown in our faces work-wise. And I think people are waking up to the fact that we have options and that we can go other places. And this is where you find out about those options, is in these streams, you know. Yeah, just like Olive Garden. It's so true. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, Nosfero. Just like Olive Garden. Limitless breadsticks, people. Limitless waffles here. We will have waffles forthwith. That is how it goes. So let me see here. I'm going to go and put that on there. Some tack. I can hook up this crazy ass. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Let's see. This is my Bob Ross. Oh, look at that minigun right there. This is going to be fun. That's right. Beat the devil out of it. All right, here we go. Act of Valor was created with active military as the actors. Excellent movie. I'm sold. I'll be watching that tonight. Yeah, yo. Yeah, indeed. Everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yeah, I mean, it is just the coolest stuff for me to think about, like how this stuff is going to come out. I get excited when I'm working on these and they start to come together. I just go, oh, cool. Like that. Oh, that's going to be great, because you're thinking about those moments when you were a kid and you would walk into the comic shop, or when you were a kid and you saw really cool sci-fi or movie or role-playing game artwork or a book cover. It could be anything. I mean, when I was coming up, the bookstore we had near me was Walden Books, and they had a section in the very back. It was like its own section that was just all D&D stuff, like role-playing game art, and I would go, and fantasy art books. And I would just go through those books, looking at all of the art and the cool ideas in it. I never could buy any of those, but I just remember looking through them and just being really excited about them. You know, like, it's just cool. And so, you know, to get to actually make that kind of stuff now is just the best. That's what makes it fun, man. Yeah, happy little minigun. That is absolutely right. I remember. Oh yeah, I remember. Will's had those kinds of miniguns on Wetworks character. It was so awesome. Yeah, we talked. Speaking of the Philippines, man. Yeah, Will's is a genius, and he actually just crowdfunded a book on Kickstarter, I think, recently with Brian Haberlin. But yeah, it's indeed Happy Little Minigun. Will's book Wetworks, I thought, had some of the coolest visuals. He was doing the werewolf and vampire thing and all of that stuff before. It was cool. And I remember there was a Wetworks, I think about it, there was a Wetworks McFarlane Toys figure, if I'm not mistaken, that I got. Maybe was that Wetworks? Someone let me know in the chat if you know. I think there was a McFarlane Toys Wetworks werewolf figure, which was one of the first really good werewolf figures I ever saw. And I had that. It was brilliant. Really cool figure. But maybe I'm wrong. I think that was the case. There we go. Now let me see where I was going with that. All right. Yep. There we go. And I'm going to end up probably moving. I think if I move that thing, although it's tricky because the way this character is standing is kind of not, he's not on a straight plane with this thing. So he's kind of standing off to the side. So I'm going to just rough that in right there and we'll see where we go. Let me see here. Yeah, Will's had those on his character. Yeah, and I just saw for reference for Greylock, I'm always looking for good posable werewolves, Frankenstein, mummy stuff, and I've been lucky. We sort of hit the jackpot at this time because a lot of that stuff is finally getting used, so to speak, in a good sense, being exploited. Like you sort of see what Universal Studios is, and they've got the original Wolfman, Frankenstein, and they make tons of money off of it. And so sometimes I'm just like, somebody tell me why there isn't more of that stuff in their theme parks. I mean, one of the most famous theme park rides of all time is the Haunted Mansion, and they have the original monsters and things that inspire that kind of stuff. I cannot for the life of me figure out why that's not everywhere. The groomsman, hey buddy, you got any lumpia? How much? Calling on you. There you go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I always forget everybody knows their stuff because we got people from all over the world. So people always. Now let me tell you this. I'm going to shame them. So of all of the foods, when I've gone out to visit my two brothers, one by way of the Philippines, one from the Philippines, both 100% American, they never take me out for any food of the Philippines ever. It's the weirdest thing. But I hear how great it is, but I've never been taken out for it. But I do get taken out for great ramen, so I can't complain. And we do take trips to Skywalker Ranch back in the day, so those are fun. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I sleep on a bed. There you go. Well, now I'm see. Look. Oh no. See. You know what, guys? I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want to jinx it, but we've been doing better on these streams lately of not getting to food immediately, but I think we've reset the clock. Reset the clock. Incidents till food. Yeah, that's because all you eat is Dr. Pepper and Coke. That's right. Went to California Universal Park a few years ago, intent on buying a Monster shirt, and they had none in any of the... Oh, man, real Sean Crummell. Come on, man. That's terrible. You're lying, Gruesman. How dare you? Yeah, guys, let me say this. Yeah, the Waffle Lodge counter is open. We're going to put more of that online. Let me see if I can show you guys this. This is the American Werewolf shirt that I just got because I was admiring Vaughn's so much, man. There's some great monster stuff out there. I hope they just do more. I want to give them my money, right? That's when it comes to CG, that's what so much of it is. It's like, make more product. I want to give you my money. And the difference with us is that yeah, absolutely, man. The difference with us is, oh, that's beautiful, man. Lucky with us that, or unfortunately with us, we are just 1 or 2 person outfits, right? But when I see giant companies, that it's like there's people who are dedicated to making sure they can make as much money as possible on these properties, and you're like, where is said thing? It is a strange phenomenon, my friends. It is a strange phenomenon. Where is the stuff? Where's the beef, as they say? because people really do. When people are fans of things, as you guys, I know you guys know this, but certainly with me, I love how I'm saying that as if I'm about to offer some non-obvious insight. I'll speak for myself. As a fan of the Universal Monsters, as a fan of comics, as a fan of Todd McFarlane's Hulk, as a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that's the stuff I want to see. I want as many opportunities as I can to get quality stuff that is going to, inspire me to like I put this stuff around my desk because it inspires me. And when NECA started coming out with the Flash Gordon stuff and the Phantom stuff, it was the best. Like, and so many people bought it, so I couldn't have been alone in that. Like everybody, like people were reviewing it and going, "Oh my gosh, have you seen this new Phantom action figure? It's great." Now this property has been around for ages, but no one ever felt like they got a great Phantom figure. I can't even recall a great Phantom figure. And NECA basically has been coming along and scooping up these products or these properties and putting out the definitive version of it. And for that, I thank them. It's great. Oh gosh, look at you guys dropping food here. Where's the beef? They're vegetarian, vegan, simply failed to remake any of those films for modern audiences. Look at the last. I know it's painful. We love Tom for Mission Impossible, but painful for painful for that Mummy movie. I don't even know what that movie was. I think that the biggest issue that movie ran into was there were many. I mean, it needed a magazine rack for its issues. But the biggest thing that they ran into is that movie stars don't necessarily work or are warranted for monster movies because the monster is the star. Having a giant star it's incongruous because you've got this mythic creature character world that you're working in, and you suddenly find yourself, in a world where it's like The Mummy with Tom Cruise. It's like The Mummy isn't the title, it's the lead character. And so if Tom Cruise, and I do know how the movie goes, but if you are casting that movie, you don't cast the person meeting the Mummy as a star. If you ask anybody who's a fan of Universal Monsters, right, and you say, who is the only actor from Frankenstein? The only actor whose name most people will know is Boris Karloff, who played the dang monster. They might know Clive Owens as Frankenstein, but they don't know the name of anybody else. And so you expect to see a monster as the lead for those. Do you know what I'm saying? Can you guys see how this stuff's starting to come together a little bit here? Let me see here. Oh, I've been getting the NECA Flash and Mings. Yeah, they're great. Still can't find the Phantom. Also been getting the 4-inch boss fight versions of them all. Yeah, those are great. They've simply failed to remake those films. Absolutely. Congrats to Tom Cruise for his highest grossing movie ever, Top Gun Maverick. Guys, don't hate the player, hate the game. The man got it done. He knew the movie we needed. And if people think that movie is going to slow down when we hit 4th of July, sorry, don't think that's going to be the case. The Fly and its iterations are still my favorites. I saw the original Fly for the first time about 4 years ago. Or no, not 4 years ago, 2 years ago. Holy cow, it was better than I expected. Isn't that funny that I hadn't seen it until then? Really strange. At the Groomsman Injected would be more direct route straight. But that's right. God, you guys are awesome. Star Wars is the franchise of missed opportunity. That is without a doubt. There's so much I wish they had done from when I was a kid till now. Yeah. Well, let me say this too. Whatever shortcomings Star Wars may have now, if it wasn't for those shortcomings, I would never have met all of you guys. And I would have never have found Ethan. I would have never found any of the things that led to my first 2 art books in this. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. Oh, thank you for the link. Boob Dan is having oh my gosh. So I'm hanging out with him on Discord while we watch you. Please tell Boob Dan I said congratulations on that. And much love to mom and dad. Oh, that's great. That's great. The Vincent Price one. Yes, the Vincent Price one. And he was dynamite in that as, the empathetic, one of the points of coming in character-wise. Speaking of what is the movie this week on Double Impact? You know what? I don't know. I need to ask Gabe because we got to get rolling for tomorrow. Release any of those films on Blu-ray and I am there. Amen. It's so true. Yes, Vincent Price. Yeah, Vincent is the man. Yeah, Vincent Price. What a career. What an unbelievable talent. It's very strange to see Vincent Price young in things, kind of as the young movie star, because like so many people, with the release of Michael Jackson's Thriller, he had another resurgence. So a lot of us knew him as sort of the elder statesman of horror. You know what I'm saying? And but what an amazing actor he was. And he had, again, a great face, man. A great, like, movie star face. Those guys had it all. Yeah, hail Dan Plagle, indeed. Bought the original Fly box set last year. Still haven't gotten around to watching them. Congrats, Boudin, wife prayers, all goes well. Okay, guys, can we do this real quick? Mods in the chat, and there should be a fair few of you. Can we please put the link to the Goblin Girl in the chat? And if anybody wants to send well wishes or send some money their way, please back the Goblin Girl. As we just mentioned, Dan Plagle and his wife are expecting a baby. And if anybody wants to send some love their way and send some support, go and back the Goblin Girl right now on Indiegogo. I think that would be a very cool thing for us to do. You know, so let's make it happen if we can. Last Man on Earth needs a release. Absolutely, it does. What's up? And indeed, congrats and prayers. Indeed. What's up, Prater 7? Great to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. And everybody's saying hello. Also, Shanth. Oh gosh, my glasses fell. Sorry. Have you noticed they never bring these movies back to the big screen and promote them? They always did that when I was a kid. I agree. I was just saying that the other day. So great, you know. John Yo, big thanks from Boudin. Hail, brother. Listen, we're all in this dad thing together, man. We're all in this thing together. That's what it is. And so, yeah, I mean, I really do think that I would think a lot of people would love to see. There's no production cost, just advertising costs you could sink. Boris Karloff on the big screen. Thank you, Stephen Rockwood. There is the link for Goblin Girl, guys. Please go and back it if you have not yet, and send a little love Dan and his wife's way, and best wishes for the birth of their child, and everybody happy and healthy. That's the big thing. Just got home from the doc's office. Blech. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Prater 7. Well, I hope you're doing okay. Let us know in the chat if you're all right. I know it's never, doctor's visits are never a joy. Unless, of course, you have severe tooth pain and you're getting that relieved. Because I will say this, the best dentistry situation you can get involved in is an emergency one, because then you're absolutely not worried. You are desperate to get sorted. My wife once asked me, or someone was asking me about my appendix surgery, and I said, the thing with the appendix surgery is it's like when you go in to get your appendix taken out, you're good. you're ready for it. You're not worried at all. You're like, get this done. Oh my Lord. But yeah, so as I'm putting this stuff together and I'm roughing it in, guys, all of this stuff, by the way, let me be clear, has been happening while you guys have been on stream. You know, this is all of this stuff. It starts with us thinking it through. So when people go like, how long does it take me to do this stuff? It takes, you know, I hope it takes as much time as one would think it would take, and not too much more. That would be my best answer. But you guys are seeing it in a real time sort of scenario. And as people were asking about, you know, the why am I putting why purple, like why do I pick this color? When I go to wash a yellow ochre over this for the background, which is pretty much what I know I'm going to be doing, it's going to make it a more earth tone, and then I'm going to work in with the local colors as well. So yeah, I'm a sentimental guy. I'm a dad, so when I hear about parents expecting, it always puts a smile on my face. I love to. I know it seems stressful and all these things, but I think about those two 16-year-old knuckleheads upstairs I love more than anything. And I think about I couldn't wait to meet them when we were expecting them. It's the best way I can put it. And now that they're getting older, it's a real pleasure to get to know them. Being a dad is the best. There was a bumper sticker someone had stuck to the back of a traffic sign on my way to work. And it simply was a bumper sticker that said, he did actually 5 or 6 of them that said, I love being a dad. And whenever I would commute to work and I was missing my kids, I would see that and put a big smile on my face. You know, it's good stuff. Same as usual, long list of complaints, but who doesn't? That's exactly right. Right on. I think Fathom Events has taken over that re-releasing type thing. Yeah, they've been doing some great stuff. Not always the best quality. It'd be cooler if the studios got behind it more. I agree. I absolutely agree. Come on, Sean. We all know why you chose purple. That's exactly right. That's right. Yeah. My God. Let me see here if I can make this work. This. Okay. All right. So now I want to do a little bit more roughing in here. And thank you guys for tuning into this stream. If I have not said it enough, those of you guys who've sent super chats, those of you guys here posting, comments and sharing the link out, I appreciate it every time. Sometimes, things are moving so fast. There's so much stuff going on. I've the pinups, I'm thinking about the artwork, but I hope I'm never too busy or never too distracted to thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Thank you guys for backing Nosfero. And thank you guys for getting the word out about the stuff happening on this stream. I am genuinely enthusiastic and excited for all of the projects that I'm seeing people do. And it's a blessing. It's a wonderful thing to be on the receiving end of that kind of enthusiasm. So I thank you for it. I absolutely thank you for it. There we go. So now that we start to get these shapes in here, you can kind of see where the break in this is going to be. Oh, thank you, Scottsley. Much love, brother. Much love. Yeah. My fondest movie experience was seeing the Star Wars special editions in theaters. First time seeing them all together. Saw it at the Man's Chinese. Wow, Matt Mark. Whoa, Bane Mailer, you just dropped that was incredible, man. I didn't see that coming. I was like, that sounds like a great experience. And then I'm like, whoa, that's even cooler. Wow, that's fantastic. I'm sure you were the right person for it, and I'm sure you cherish it, man. Well deserved and awesome. Oh, that's right. Stephen Rockwood drawing. Come on, man. I thought you were gonna back that book. I don't know what that's about. Let me tell you something, Stephen Rockwood. You have had my back in every single way imaginable. When it comes to this YouTube channel, when it comes to the book, I salute you, my friend. Thank you. Sincerely, thank you. Let me see here. All right. And the thing about Tank Treads is I have to rough in the perspective a little bit first for me, because when I get into the complexity of it, I really have to build it with the paint as if I'm building it like it's like a model kit or something like that. I don't know if anybody else has that, but there's a physicality to the paint and the depth of paint, even if it's, as they say, Monty Python, wet or thin. It still gives you that sense of the base. You know what I'm saying? It still gives you the it's this kind of this natural, Lego need to build and to put stuff together that still kind of comes into my paintings a little bit when I'm constructing them. I have to say this too. Whenever I'm painting and I get commissioned to do paintings of other CGers projects and properties, I become very aware and very thankful for their creativity and for them inviting me into their world, and inviting me into their character's world. And the painting I'm doing of Heidi for Visions right now really has been great. I've been just deep diving into, me, I'm a big fan of pulp and pulp art. So I'm deep diving into that. And that's the big thing. That's what I love. Of course, Stephen Rockwood drawing has your back, Sean. You two practically grew up together. We did, John, speaking of people who have my back. And it's, I loved when special effects and miniatures, and we started seeing all of that stuff, kind of come on the scene, and you saw a lot of behind the scenes on movies and stuff like that. The thing I always loved about it was that, oh man, my eyes get blurry. The thing I loved about it was that you would see the minutia of the detail, even though I don't know how many of you guys are model kit builders. I'd do miniatures or Warhammer stuff, or even just build models of any kind. But I've always admired that skill because I don't have it. I get very, stressed out about it. I can't figure that stuff out. 3D still does my head in. And my son does it, and it's amazing to watch him because he's brilliant at it. And he certainly, got certain things from me, but that I can't do. It's so hard for me. And, but I love seeing it because it inspires my art, the way that people do detail and rust and little metal, dings on stuff. I try to put that stuff into my painting. And I think there's something about the artists who painted Warhammer illustrations that they had that ability, if that makes sense. Eyes getting blurry. Is your back getting dude? Seriously. I was watching a great documentary on one of the most important artists in sequential art history, Osamu Tezuka, and the creator of Astro Boy and the founder of what is actual manga in the realist sense. He did lay down. People came slightly before. We could talk about the history of Japanese prints, but no, he's the guy who came and brought that American sort of Disney mentality and then raised the bar on it. I was watching a documentary with him, and he was talking about the comic book, schedule, and someone who's done more artwork than most comic book artists will ever do in their lives. And he just talked about the aches, talked about some of the pains, but you need to do it. Like, the only reason anybody does comic book stuff that I can fathom is that need to do it. I mean, I look at what boxers do, and I love boxing, and I just go, yeah, there's no way you're putting yourself through road work at 5 a.m. because you hate boxing. if that's the case, then you've got some ability that and some kind of weird trait that I have never experienced myself. I can't imagine. Yeah, the king of manga indeed. Yeah, his stuff is great. John, Steve Rock with Drawing Life. You kids get off my lawn. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm picturing Clint Eastwood. Every now and again, you ever realize you run into somebody you shouldn't have fucked with. That's totally what it is, man. And I've been watching Yellowstone, so I'm getting my share of great language. Watch the bass in your voice when you're talking to me, son. Gotta love it. Have to get back to work. Have a great day, everyone. Real Sean Crummell. Go back after it. And thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. John saying, see you, Real Sean Crummell. Imagine spending months painting a ceiling on your back. I know. Yeah, Michelangelo is still undefeated. Only to have restorers who didn't know what they were doing remove a lot of it, which is horrifying to think about. But what are you going to do? Sometimes people need to be good at their jobs. If there's one thing, a buddy of mine, were talking about what's our number one thing that we find attractive in a woman outside of the obvious, finding her physically attractive and all of that kind of stuff. And we said competency, man. Like there's something great about, and this is the same thing with friendships. People being competent at their job, the people that you hire to come back to do things. It's not about perfection. It's about when somebody does something that they can execute it, that they can deliver it. And and you see it when you go. I don't know if any of you guys know what I mean, but it's like when I go to a restaurant and I have somebody, who waits on me and does an outstanding job, I tip accordingly, man. I mean, you got to. It's great. It's a brilliant thing. Yeah, ditto. Ciao. Yeah, absolutely. Peace and take care, guys. Much love. Much love. Take care, Cranberry Langers. John, things lost to history is one thing, but things lost to stupidity is horrible. You're absolutely right. Later Langers, indeed. Bane Mailer. Yeah, it blows my mind. I mean, it takes active. It takes almost a bovine level stupidity, to quote the late Richard Attenborough, to do certain things. And and we can decide every moment to bring these things back while we still know they exist. We can, think about this, guys. You guys, when you're backing my book and you're checking out this channel, and you're sending your super chats, you are funding. You're saying, you know what, traditionally painted work, I think it should exist. I don't think it needs to be everything. It's not, I think digital work should, all that stuff. No, but I just think it should exist. I think it's good if we see this stuff. And that's big, man. Yeah, later Langers, later Cranberry Langers. See you, Cranberry Langers. Back to work like me. Right on, Odin. See you, Sean. Gotta go eat. Go eat, my friend. Yo, yes. Delicious and well-deserved. Enjoy yourself. I love you, brother, and I hope to see you guys soon. Let's see here. All right. This, that, and then, okay, so we're going to start roughing in a little bit more. What time am I at? 1:44. Good. All right. Just checking to make sure nobody's dying. I just found out that a psycho busted the... Oh, no. What? I need confirmation on that. What? No. Hold on a second. Yeah. Oh man. Well, I mean, I'm sure it happened at some point in the past. Hopefully, it's all sorted. Yeah. I hope that dude did get trebucheted. Yeah. I thought that meant recently. I was like, oh, please tell me now. Yeah. That doesn't shock me. I mean, it's just like the giant statues of the Buddha that were sculpted and destroyed. You think what drives people, man? How do people get to that point? And I think it's deprivation and. This was years ago. Thank God. Yeah, it's been sorted. Yeah, that would break my heart. Yeah, I mean, guys, artistic mastery of Michelangelo's level and so many of those artists is something that the incompetent cannot stand that it exists. And I'm always thinking, a Hungarian in 1972. What's wrong, man? It's like, when I think about and I don't know if any of you guys are this way, but like when I do original artwork and you guys back original artwork or buy original artwork, and I know I was saying this last stream, but this is going to somebody's home. Like when I'm working on this piece, which I know some of you guys saw last stream, this is the painting. This is a head sketch. You know how we feel about the word sketch in this house. It's a painting. This is the in progress head sketch for Lloyd Burton, who's a big backer on Nosfero, back at the head sketch level. Do you guys see like what's going on with this? This is what it's about, man. And it's not even done yet. This is just the 50% mark, I think. But this is what you get when you back at a head sketch level. You give me the money so that you can get something excellent for your home. And I want you to have something excellent for your home, period. That's it. It's so important. And I love this stuff, 12 hammer blows to the statue. He should have got, yes, agreed. I'm not joking. Yeah, I'm with you. Wasn't there a book? Oh, yes. It's called Peak by Anders Ericsson. It's the finest book that you can get on mastery of things. And I can't overstate how good it is. Oh gosh. I think his name is spelled. Oh, shoot, I can't remember if it's 2 S's or 2 C's, but you'll find it. I think it's 2 C's. Let me see here. I probably butchered his name, but you'll find it if you do that. The book's called Peak by Anders Ericsson. Let me see here. Hammer blows. Yeah. Listen. He shots when it gives you the nipples. Awesome, dude. That's a head sketch. Yeah, that is a head sketch. And all the head sketches, I'm going to do high scans, res scans of them. And I'm probably going to actually put them, the scans of them and print them in art books. So people are getting actual, I want people when they get these head sketches that they'll be getting actual published work. And people will get to see it. That's really, when you back a head sketch, you are getting an original painting with me because that's just how it is. I want the people who back these books to get, to get something great that they love. So here's where we are, guys. Let me see if I can zoom this out just a little bit more here. Zoom it out, meaning move the camera. But this is sort of the world that we're creating. So try to imagine that there's a bisecting line right through the center of this, and you'll get an idea of the world we're creating. So once I get these guys roughed in, what I start to do is I start to then layer the details in such a way that you get a sense of, what is going to be happening in the foreground, middle ground, and background of this piece, And for me, the horizon line, much like with what they did with a lot of these pieces, is going to be, it's going to be a bit of a higher horizon line. So it's going to be a lot more of a, not a bird's eye view, but it's going to be a little bit of a taller view right there. And that gives me the chance to put, as they did with a lot of these pieces. Like what I loved about the artists who did work for D&D and Warhammer and all of that stuff back in the day is a lot of them early on were trying to show you the whole world, kind of like paint as much stuff as possible so you could really move through it, not unlike the games themselves. And so that's something that is really exciting to me to do with this piece, is to try to create that sort of quality. The burned out trees in the background on the horizon, the wasteland, the war, the energy, and then sort of bringing some of that, that great, crazy kinetic casings every which way, kind of stylistic, that we love. And a lot of this stuff is just going to be, is going to be formed with the paint. It's going to be, formed with how the media comes together. And when we're done, it's just going to be. I want it to be something that Rob sees and loves, and he makes him happy. He puts. Yeah, yeah, it's true. Was that from the sold out tier? Yes, that's from the sold out tier. That's from there's 10 of those, so 10 painted head sketches. So to put it mildly, if you include all of the commission pieces I'm doing right now, the thing I do after I finish Nosfero the Cryptwalker, I think one of the next books I do is going to be Art Book 3. That's going to have a lot of this stuff in it. And yeah, that's probably the one place where people will be able to ever get a hold of originals of my stuff, is with the campaigns and the head sketch tier. And they are, yes, there you go. Yeah, you're number 10. And it's so going to be worth it, my friend. By the way, Moromi, what are, you've got your pick of your monsters, your werewolf, your Frankenstein, and, your Dracula. Which one, like Nosferatu, Dracula, whatever fickles your fancy. Do you know which one you're leaning towards? Because I can start on that. Peak Secrets from the New Sciences of Expertise by Anders Ericsson, Robert Poole. That's it. That's the one. Any progress reports regarding how far along Nosfero is? Yeah, we got another page in the can and starting the next one. It's going... I don't know why. There's so many plates spinning, but somehow it gets done. Yeah, 10 very grateful back. Well, I want it to be great for those guys, man. These guys are awesome. All of you guys who've backed the book. And the same thing goes for the comic book. I want it to be something that is brilliant. The next page of Nosfero that I'm going to be painting on stream, once I finish up I wasn't going to rough it in on stream. I might still, but I chickened out. Is going to be a page that really shows you the Egypt, because that's the segue from the last page, right? That really shows you Amun al-Hazred in his lair, because he appears as an apparition on the previous pages, as you guys know, like he's communicating mystically and astral projecting himself into the world of communication. But you're actually going to see the backstory. The reason why he's missing a finger is on his middle finger on his right hand is because that is where one of his treacherous disciples, whose name is oh my god, hold on a second. Hold on, because I have the script right here. Let me just take a look real quick. File, open recent, Nosfero. I think I know his name, but I just want to make sure I say it right. So yes, he steals 3 pages from the Necronomicon ex nihil, and it is his disciple Zerotep. Yeah, so Zerotep is the vampire who ends up imprisoning Nosfero. And Zerotep is the person who cuts this ring that you see Nosfero wearing from the finger of Amun al-Hazred, and steals 3 pages of the book, which are responsible for how Nosfero gets to be where he is. And, the story starts, for those of you guys who've seen the pages, is that Nosfero already has access to the pages of the book, right? The 3 pages he has. But what he is able to secure from Lascivia in the first couple pages, he gets the rest of the book. You got it, man. It's this is going to be oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that's my friend's favorite video game, by the way. Yeah. It's seriously, it's going to be cool. And it's about that's a subtle nod to Atlas Shrugged and Ayn Rand. Like there's a lot of literature references in this. Laurel's last name is Laurel Dantes, influenced by the Count of Monte Cristo. So there's an element of that. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, someone get the creature. Yeah, if somebody gets the creature from the Black Lagoon, I'd be open to that. I've painted the creature from the Black Lagoon as a head sketch before. Not as a head sketch, but as a painting before and a sketch. So yeah, I'm totally game for that. This purple image gives me Doom vibes right on. Yeah. It's the idea of this character who is so deeply resentful that he is not powerful. I mean, it's so funny because George Lucas covered all of this stuff really well with, his description of how the Sith work, but it's with how all evil people work. You look at King Lear, Kurosawa's Ron, and that's what it is, Old Edmond Dantes, indeed. Doom for sure, yeah. Well, Rob, I think, is a very big video game and Warhammer and Armor or shoot 'em up kind of person. That's why the Replicator, I think, is such a huge hit. Is people love Rob, obviously, and love his writing, but the stuff he loves is something a lot of us are passionate about. I rewatched The Fountainhead recently. What a great film! Yeah, The Fountainhead, man. There's some great Brooke Shields, right? Oh wait, that was Blue Lagoon. Oh my God, you guys are killing me. Yeah, Fountainhead is amazing, and my wife and I, we haven't read The Fountainhead, but that's our next book club read. We're doing it. Yes, The Fountainhead is his last great film. Right on. Yeah, I love it all. I love literature, love art, and what you guys do. I was saying this to somebody today. Actually, I said that you don't realize how much you're missing having fans and people who you share so many things in common with that you're passionate about until you've gone a long time without them, and then you have these folks in your life. Like getting to be able to talk about comics and printing and storytelling and all of those things here with all my fellow CG creators and with the CG team. Again, I'm assuming we have a new episode again tonight. So do tune in. If you're not subscribed to Eric Weathers' channel, check out where CG team will be probably going live tonight at our usual time, which I think is 10 p.m. Eastern time, if I'm not mistaken. And but yeah, we get to talk about all this stuff we're passionate about. I actually did not realize there was such a connection between a lot of people in CG and things like Warhammer 40K, which seems idiotic considering that, that's what it was like for me growing up. There was a lot of people who shared both of those interests, but it was like a reminder of something that I had lost, is having people to just nerd out about this stuff with. There we go. There we are. We're starting to clear this thing out and get it ready, getting it set up. Yes, Fountainhead is a great film. I plan to read Fountainhead soon with my book club. Atlas Shrugged and Anthem are good ones too. Yeah, love Anthem. Never saw any movies adapted from Rand's work. Yeah, I haven't seen any movies of it yet. I've read Atlas Shrugged and Anthem, and I love both of those books. Or one, the short story, and the other, the book. And it's a fascinating exploration of certain aspects and qualities and vices that human beings can be driven into, and it speaks to the importance of the individual. And it's also kind of interesting because when I look at the books that I'm drawn to most often, they're asking these big questions, like the Count of Monte Cristo, this aspect of revenge, of losing yourself. How far are you willing to go, and what does revenge do to you in the end? And the film version of this I often think of as Ben-Hur. So what I always tell people is that if Nosfero was an origin story, right? If Nosfero was the kind of story that was, approaching these things in its most basic sense, it would be a revenge story. But Nosfero isn't about revenge. He's not trying to get back at anybody. When you meet Nosfero is a fully realized man. He is because he's not built that way. There's this level of difficulty and obstacles that a person can face that makes them have the luxury or capacity of revenge. And then there's that level that when it goes beyond that, where revenge, what it reveals to you about the dark potentialities of life are so bad that it's oblivion or life is your choice. Revenge is incidental. It doesn't matter because it's just a perpetuation and an acknowledgement of the darkness. And so Nosfero doesn't acknowledge that darkness. He works for good. And that's what I love, Yeah, who is John Galt? Indeed. Love that. I have Anthem, the graphic novel. Ooh, very cool. Oh, I'd love to see that. I'm not much of an objectivist. Yeah, I'm somewhere in there, but Ayn Rand changed my life. Yeah, I'm, how do I word it? C.S. Lewis, gosh, obviously Alexander Dumas, so many authors. I'm trying to think of some of the people who really impacted me the most, but as authors go, but there's flaws in, I think, in some of those those discussions, and I've been able to form a lot of opinions from that. That it is, Stephen Rockwood. Thank you, brother. Always waving that flag. They're going to remake Ben-Hur with oh my God. Also, I find it interesting the wide range of tastes we all have. That is so true. We can talk about great manga creators, Ayn Rand and Warhammer 40K, and everyone has at least passing knowledge of it. And I think we all expand our knowledge from it. It's what academia should be, what college should be, is a lot of people coming together and sharing a lot of ideas and everyone benefiting from it. It should be like a, in some ways, like a controlled, or I should say not controlled, a civil potluck of ideas. And that's sort of what the Inklings were, speaking of C.S. Lewis. Yeah, C.S. Lewis is kind of the opposite of Ayn Rand. It's true. And that's why it's important to read both and expose yourself to different ideas. Yes, because Ayn Rand speaks to the individual and the foundations of liberty, and individual liberty and the idea of the individual. And C.S. Lewis delves into concepts like the super personal. And those are things that are not incompatible, but they, how do I word it? They both are, interestingly enough, anti-subjectivism, which is what I thought was so interesting. If you read or listen to they did an animated thing of it, of The Poison of Subjectivism by C.S. Lewis. He goes into a huge thing about it. Yeah. Ayn Rand struggled to be an objectivist in real life. Of course. Yeah. Right. I mean, I know, how do I word this? One of the reasons why I'm not, I can critique things, but one of the reasons why I have not gone into the critic road is because, and I'm not against it, by the way, by any stretch, but I know we all sort of fall short of what our aspirations are and the things we want to do. C.S. Lewis talked about it a lot, and a lot of the people that inspire me do. And I think that's really what humanizes it all for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I read this great autobiography, and they said, what I'm going to do here is, or not autobiography, sorry, this great biography on C.S. Lewis. And it said, what I'm going to attempt to do is present, what I've been able to gather about C.S. Lewis. And he goes, the biggest problem with C.S. Lewis is people tend to, portray him as a plaster saint. And C.S. Lewis was not a plaster saint. And he deserves better, is what the person said. And I thought, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the feet of clay thing, because I already know they exist. I'm looking for somebody giving me a fully, as full of a realized version of this person, so that I can compare different perspectives and get a better sense of him. And the more factual data they can give me, the better. And so, there we go. See how we're just kind of prepping this thing for the next phase now? All of this stuff happens because of you guys, being here and getting to see it. It's fun, It's like you guys watch it happen. Excellence gathers excellence like snowball. That you're absolutely right. Pursuit of excellence is the enemy's favorite plight to attack. Right on. C.S. Lewis speaks for the need to sacrifice. Right on. Bane Mailer, I think it's because it's not enough to be an objectivist on its own. Absolutely. And everyone objectivist, then nobody would have. Yes. Well, it's interesting, right? It's what I would say is to that is, it's the real choice at the end of the day that I think she talks about in Atlas Shrugged is life or not. And to me, that life thing and having kids and moving life forward is the ultimate sort of manifestation of that, and also encouraging life. Michael Brancroft helped turn my little snowball into an avalanche. Right on. Precisely, Scottsley. Ayn Rand called sacrifice. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Ayn Rand called sacrifice this. Yes, the sin. Of course. Well, that was her shtick. C.S. Lewis' work didn't point to himself. That is very true. Yes. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it wasn't self-obsessed. And that's the great thing about it. C.S. Lewis hoped, because of his passion, just like Tolkien for that matter, they hoped that their work would bring some enjoyment, but also might open a door to, reading the stuff that inspired them. whether it's, you know, Beowulf or probably the Mahabharata, I'm assuming with Tolkien, there's just a lot of overlap in certain things, which is great, which is cool. But these were very well read folks, you know, and that's the stuff that makes it fun. That's the stuff that makes the work enjoyable. So now let me see what else I got to do here. All right, cool, guys. So I'm at about 2 hours right now, and I'm going to probably grab something to eat. But I just want to say to you guys from the heart, sincerely, thank you for backing Nosfero. Thank you for continuing to get the word out about it. Thank you for backing the projects of everybody who's got their links in the description. And thank you for being here while I paint and sending super chats. It does go to the family, and we appreciate it. You know, every dollar helps. Everything, every bit of support helps. It not only puts wind in our sails, but it also supports our family and supports the work that we're doing. And so we appreciate you so much for subscribing to this channel and for always having the back of this family. It's much appreciated. And thank you to CG and all of you great people who've you know, come out here and supported us. We do appreciate it very much. Let me see here. My aspirational character is what's missing. Yes, absolutely. You fail to have the heart to keep trying. Yeah, it's lost in today's media. I don't think Rand pointed to herself either. She pointed to you. Yes, reader. She could. You could point to yourself. That's true. Hope the family gets well soon. Absolutely, John. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So hard to choose right now. Still thinking. All right. Take care, my friend. Yeah, that's okay. You take your time to think on the sketch. You don't have to overthink it. I mean, you know what I mean. Take your time. That's really the Crypt Walker right there. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Scottsley. Much love. Thank you for the stream, Lord Ravener. Fist bumping you from afar, brother. Much love. Talking like this makes one realize how deprived the creative space has become. Absolutely right. And we're here to fill it up, man. Seeing you paint straight lines. That's fine. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bane Mailer. Thank you to all of you guys. I'm going to play our song out, and I appreciate you guys being here. You guys are, of course, the best. Much love, and I will see you guys soon, okay? Take care, stay safe, and stay excited, stay enthusiastic. Maybe take some risks. Maybe don't stay safe. Do what you got to do to live your life and enjoy it. I appreciate you guys, and I want you to have a great life and a great day. Thank you. Let's see here. Here you go, guys.
Here's a little something for you busters. Yeah.
You're not even learning anything on the street.
Yeah.
You think I'm stupid, son?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say to you, boy?
Yeah.
Do you?
What's up with that?
Look at me, damn it!
Y'all cowards don't even smoke crack. What's up with that?
You smoke crack, don't you?
Y'all cowards don't even smoke crack.
Look at me, boy!
Hey to
You
you,
smoke crack, don't you?
don't even smoke crack.
You know what that does to you? Huh? You smoke crack, don't you?
Smoke crack.
Go on and do it expeditiously.
What's up with that?
It kills your brain cells, son. It kills your brain cells.
Don't even smoke crack.
No guts, huh?
I apologize. I forgot you were there. You may go now.